If you're shopping for an air fryer and you keep landing on the Chefman 6-quart model, you're probably asking yourself one simple question. Is this actually a good family air fryer, or is it just cheap and big? Because size alone doesn't mean performance. And when it comes to air fryers, airflow and heat consistency matter more than the number printed on the box. So let's break this down properly. The Chefman 6QT air fryer sits right in that sweet spot for people who want more space but don't want to pay premium brand prices. 6 quarts is a practical size. It's big enough to cook for a family of 3 or 4 without stacking food into a pile, and stacking is one of the fastest ways to ruin crispiness. Right out of the box, the first thing you notice is the size. It's not tiny, but it's also not oversized in a ridiculous way. It fits on a standard kitchen counter without feeling like a microwave replacement. The design is simple, clean, and modern enough that it doesn't look cheap sitting next to your other appliances. Now let's talk about performance, because that's what actually matters. The Chefman 6QT typically runs up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. That's standard for most air fryers in this range. It doesn't push into 450 degree territory like some higher end models, but for most everyday cooking, 400 degrees is enough to get the job done, as long as airflow is decent. And that's where this model performs better than people expect. Airflow is strong enough to create solid browning on fries, wings, and frozen foods. You're not getting uneven, pale patches unless you overcrowd the basket. If you give food space, the results are surprisingly consistent for a budget-friendly unit. Chicken wings come out crispy on the outside and juicy inside when spaced properly. Frozen fries develop a good golden color without turning dry. Breaded foods, like mozzarella sticks or chicken tenders, crisp up well without exploding or leaking everywhere. Now let's talk about capacity in real-life terms. 6 quarts means you can cook a full batch of wings in one go for family dinner. You can roast vegetables and protein together. You can make enough fries for multiple people without running 2 cycles. That convenience factor is huge. A smaller 3 or 4 quart unit might force you to cook in rounds. And once you're cooking in multiple rounds, the whole quick dinner advantage disappears. Another strong point is the digital interface. The touchscreen is simple and easy to use. It includes preset cooking options, adjustable temperature, and a timer. It doesn't overwhelm you with unnecessary features. Everything is straightforward. There's also a shake reminder feature. That's more useful than it sounds. Halfway through cooking, it alerts you to shake or flip food. That improves even browning and prevents one side from getting overdone. Now let's be honest about limitations. This is not a premium $200 air fryer. The materials feel solid for the price, but not luxury grade. The exterior is mostly plastic with stainless accents. It doesn't feel flimsy, but you can tell it's built to hit a specific price point. Noise level is typical for an air fryer. You'll hear the fan running. It's not obnoxious, but it's noticeable. That's normal. Strong airflow requires a working fan. Another thing to keep in mind is preheat time. Larger baskets naturally take a bit longer to fully heat compared to compact units. It's not a huge delay, but it's noticeable if you're coming from a smaller air fryer. Now let's talk cleaning. Because this matters more than people admit. The basket and tray are non-stick and relatively easy to clean. Food residue usually wipes off without heavy scrubbing. If you soak it briefly after cooking, cleanup becomes even easier. Ease of cleaning directly affects usage frequency. If something is annoying to clean, you avoid using it. The Chefman does a solid job of staying user-friendly in that regard. Let's talk about real-world scenarios. If you're cooking for a family on a weeknight, this thing shines. Throw in chicken thighs, set it, and 20 minutes later you've got crispy skin without heating up your entire kitchen. If you're meal prepping, you can cook larger batches of vegetables or protein without feeling cramped. If you're reheating leftovers, it restores texture far better than a microwave. Pizza regains crisp edges. Fries don't turn soggy. Is it perfect? No. It doesn't have advanced 450 degree heat. It doesn't have ceramic coating like some premium units. It doesn't feel ultra high end. But that's not what it's trying to be. The Chefman 6QT is built for practicality. It's built for families. It's built for people who want space and decent performance without paying premium brand prices. Now let's talk about who this is actually for. If you live alone and cook small portions, 6 quarts might be overkill. But if you cook for multiple people regularly, this size makes your life easier. If you're upgrading from a tiny 2-quart model and constantly frustrated with space, this is a noticeable upgrade. If you want something simple and reliable without complicated settings, this fits perfectly. One of the biggest mistakes people make is buying too small. They focus on price and ignore capacity. Then they regret it when dinner takes twice as long because they're cooking in batches. The Chefman 6QT solves that problem without stepping into high-end pricing. And honestly, in this price range, performance is solid. It crisps properly. It cooks evenly. It doesn't feel like a toy. If you're comparing it to ultra-cheap no-name brands, this is a safer bet because Chefman has established a reputation in the small appliance space. Prices fluctuate frequently on Amazon, especially during seasonal sales. So check the link below and see where it's sitting right now. If you want a large, practical, family-sized air fryer that delivers crispy results without premium cost, the Chefman 6QT is absolutely worth considering. It may not be the fanciest air fryer on the market, but for everyday cooking, it gets the job done, and sometimes that's exactly what you need.